Going on, good people? This is your boy Alberto, your host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Folks, dropping another video tonight, man. This one is my very first draft profile for the 2023 NFL Draft, man. And player that I want to just talk on briefly is wide receiver Quentin Johnston of TCU, man. And if y'all missed out on the performance that he had the other night, I'm gonna give you the numbers right quick. Against Michigan, 6 receptions, 163 yards, and a touchdown. Averaged 27 yards per catch, man. Wow, that's pretty impressive for a guy that's 6'4", 215 pounds, man. The kid can move. I think the game within the year itself, and then that game kind of stamped him as a potential top 10 pick. Not necessarily for our Atlanta Falcons, just an overall thing. Um, he's a guy that I'm definitely intrigued by, as far as the size, the athletic ability that he shows and presents. Again, 6'4", 215 pounds, and the kid can move like that, man. He's projected to run anywhere between 4'4", 4'5". Puts him in that mold of like a Mike Williams from the Chargers, man. A guy that is athletic and just great at the point of attack on the football, similar to what Johnston does. But Quentin Johnston definitely, if because we don't know what Atlanta's going to do. We all think will have a good idea where they should go, but weird things have happened in the world of the NFL. So I know that me personally, defense is the calling. There's a guy there by the name of Jalen Carter that if he's available, that's your number one guy on the board. Uh, I don't think anybody can argue that Will Anderson will be a welcome fit here as well. Probably be number two on the board. But then from three on, it's kind of a free fall, man. You can plug anybody, really. You can plug in a cornerback, Adrian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., Cam Smith, just to name a few. We get into the playmaker department where Quentin Jefferson, Quentin Johnston fits the bill for the Atlanta Falcons, man. Like I mentioned, 6'4", 215 pounds. Fits what Atlanta does as it is currently, as far as size and stature and playmaking ability. All off season, the Falcons try to bring that element to the team. Acquiring Brian Edwards at in May, April or May of this past year, and he didn't pan out. We also brought in Auden Tate, both of those gentlemen, 6'3", 6'4", respectively, and they just they didn't find their footing with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think that Quentin Johnston will have a problem coming in and doing that for himself. This is a kid that's has really gotten better with each year, starting from 2020 to current year. We're talking 2020, 487 yards receiving, 2021, 612 yards receiving, and then he kind of just, went off, so to say, 59 catches, 1,006 yards, and 6 touchdowns in this past season. Um, I think he really cemented himself as wide receiver number one in the draft, probably the best wide receiver on the board. Um, and in a trade back scenario, I wouldn't be mad if the Atlanta Falcons did acquire Quentin Johnston. And if you guys watch the game today, that's something that this Falcons team definitely lacks is wide receiver number two. We all know, Drake London is a clear cut number one. When Pitts comes back, it's another element. I think a trio of Pitts, London, and Johnson might be, something to work with, man. That's a pretty potent three right there. And I'm not even mentioning, the receiving and running abilities of Tyler Algier neither. So that's another element in its own right. But Quentin Johnston, I think, definitely could come in and help the Falcons right away. Currently, we sit at number 7. That can change next week. If we lose to Tampa Bay next week, we'll definitely know where we will be drafting come April for sure. Um, if we end up in the top 5, I doubt that we'll go after him. But in a trade down scenario, I wouldn't be mad if we did go. I know that might be not so popular with a lot of the fans, seeing as we went, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. I doubt folks want to see, uh, you know, another wide receiver or offensive player for that matter as our pick come April. But weirder things have happened in the NFL. You know what I mean, and we don't know exactly where Atlanta's direction is going to be for the draft. We can all assume, but definitely, this he's an intriguing piece that can add some explosiveness to this offense, which this offense does lack. Explosive playmakers. There was a guy here some years ago, Thomas Dimitrov, that echoed those same things. We lack explosiveness, and lo and behold, come that April, they made the boldest trade in franchise history, trading up 23 spots to acquire Julio Jones. Which I'm not saying that Quentin Johnston is a Julio Jones-like receiver. Julio Jones was a generational talent. Um, but when we talk about explosiveness and stuff like that, definitely Johnston fits the bill. He's a big, strong, physical kid who can run after the catch, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Falcons uniform in a trade down scenario if that's the case. If we trade down to that 10 to 11 range, maybe that's one to think about right there. But that's my draft profile for tonight. Quentin Johnston of TCU. And again, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, like it, share it, get my name and name across the YouTube universe, like my boy Antoine Smitty Smith says. So yeah, this is your boy Alberto, your host of 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Hit that subscribe button and drop your comments. Let me know who you think the Falcons should target at number 7 in this up and coming draft. Peace.